probably wondering where Alma's currently hidden. Don't worry, she's safe. For now. In the meantime, Matt and I have graciously accepted the responsibility of lead host, and boy, does it feel good.
Yes, this chair gives me a rush of power I've never felt before. And speaking of power, we'll be reviewing the new superhero-packed South Park Fractured But Whole, playing Stardew Valley, then discussing farming video games. Those last two don't have much to do with power. Now we're going to cut to us.
I'm Matt Linton.
And I'm Matt Carreri. I'm Matt Linton.
And I'm Matt Carreri.
And this is your week in video game news.
An upcoming role-playing game which was developed by Level 5 in collaboration with Studio Ghibli just confirmed its rumors that Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, arriving to the Xbox One as a digital release is false. Japanese video game news Gematsu confirmed the rumors on Twitter that Ni no Kuni 2 is only developed for the PS4 and for Steam. The single-player open-world game is set to be released on January 19th of 2018.
In esports news, the New York Yankees are joining an investor partnership with Vision Esports, a company whose holdings include Twin Galaxies and Echo Fox. While the size of the investment is unknown to the public at present, the fact that the Yankees are now throwing money at esports is important, and people should be talking about it. It also means it's no longer unreasonable to see esports tournaments in venues like Yankee Stadium. The key takeaway from this development is that now, on some level, revenue made by the New York Yankees is paying for the lifestyle of Dominique Sonic Fox McLean, fighting game legend and anthropomorphic animal enthusiast, the love of Sam Shipp's life.
Developer Infinite Fall announced on Twitter that they are bringing their cult classic Night in the Woods to mobile. Released earlier this year, Night in the Woods placed characters in the shoes of May, a talking cat in the mysterious town of Possum Springs. It's a lot like if David Lynch directed Animal Crossing. Stay tuned for its release in early 2018.
The Nintendo Switch was named the top-selling video game console of September, and Sam Shipp was named the most active Tinder user of 2017. This is the third straight month and the fifth time in the 7 months since its release that the Switch has earned this honor. The console has already sold 2 million units, and it's heading into its first holiday season. Much of the success can be attributed to Nintendo's beloved exclusive content and their family-friendly demeanor.
Dragon Ball FighterZ, that is Z with a capital Z, has announced its release date for January 26th of 2018. Exciting fans of the landmark anime series and fans of very good fighting games. The studio putting this out, Arc System Works, makes Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue, two games whose writers forgot to show up, so the designers had to stay up all night. 18 characters have been announced for the game so far, and a season pass will add 8 more in the future. The roster includes the obvious picks like Goku and Vegeta, but Nappa, the bald guy who dies, and some deeper cuts into the series.
Red Bull Music Academy's Diggin' in the Carts touched down in Los Angeles this weekend, showcasing some of the greatest compositional talent of the video game world. The highlights of the set were the soundtracks of the Streets of Rage trilogy performed live by its composers Yuzo Koshira and Motohiro Kawashima. Playing live, they warped and twisted the blood-pumping soundtrack into a live set worthy of a club experience. Always remember, trust your fists, police will not help you. Let's go back to you, Mats.
Us?
Oh. Didn't get enough Comedy Central this week? Wishing there was a new South Park game? I know, I wasn't either. Here's our review for South Park Fractured But Whole.
South Park Fractured But Whole. Let me say that title again. South Park Fractured But Whole. Subtle, right? Most games require a massive marketing budget and snazzy taglines in order to get the consumer to understand what type of game they're playing. But not here at all. All this game needs for you is to read the title and have the comedic sensibilities of a 12-year-old. You should know exactly what kind of game this is and who it's for. It's like being approached by Academy Award-winning director James Torbeck, how he actually introduces himself, about starring in his new movie, and at the end of the conversation, you know exactly what he's implying. By the time you're watching this review, whether it's the first time you've ever heard of the new game or the 20th, you have already made up your mind about what you think. So, instead of giving up a comprehensive list of the elements in the game, I'm just going to tell you what I liked and didn't like. Like, the writing. The story is somewhat simplistic. Overall, the product is funniest AAA game released since South Park in 2014. You play as the new kid, a blank slate that allows you to lay yourself under the world of South Park, Colorado. As much as I can appreciate the game's love for comic books, and believe me, I do, It ends up being a loose framework for jokes. The action picks up as the Stick of Truth wraps down. As the climactic battle of Stick of Truth commences, Cartman, bored with the last game, decides to bring his friends in search of a massive cat in order to get the reward money to kick off their own version of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Though this is a simple premise, it quickly spirals out of control. And when I say quickly, like most other reviews we've done here, I mean painstakingly slow. Within the first 5 hours of the game, I experienced 7 tutorials and spent a good portion of my time walking around the town. I have to say, moving around the town is one of the most tedious aspects of the game. It really is boring. But on a more positive note, you can engage in 2 separate types of farts while hobbling around, so that's nice. Dislike. The fighting mechanics are so mind-bogglingly horrible that I think they actually made me contract polio. It's like if you took the heart and charm of Mega Man Battle Network and just added too many fart jokes. Whether its predecessors build combat around lively Paper Mario-style action commands, Fractured Butthole insists on squares forever. The semi-tactical combat leaves much to be desired. The game's desperation to pay homage to comic books' ever-changing origin stories means that your own combat abilities keep changing at an irritating pace. I can never get too comfortable in fights before something new gets thrown at me with no preparation. I've never tried speed, but I imagine it feels a lot like how this story progresses. Like, the writing. I think it's important to emphasize this. I did laugh hard and often. Though the comedy is written for the thinking man's 14-year-old who has just discovered the Joe Rogan podcast, I still chuckled my way through most of the game. It kept me coming back. And even when the combat made me want to shoot myself more than most of the time, as South Park put it, I saw my dad f***ing my mom. The main issue I have comes through the game's length. While I normally praise a game for being too long, the humor begins to wear off only after the 10 to 15 hour mark. I honestly cannot play the game for more than 2 hours at a time without feeling like I'm going to grind my head against Mega Streisand's Robo-Butt. To clarify, in South Park canon, the boys square off against Mega Streisand, a giant robot Godzilla that is famous singer Barbra Streisand. I didn't come up with it. For all my griping, the game is not bad. It's a great distraction and a fun piece of lore to add to the South Park canon. If you're coming for an engaging role-playing experience, don't. The character the game gives you feels more like an X-site for jokes rather than a chance to put yourself into the world of South Park. So much that I rather believe that this is a representation of my brother made using an online Facebook game from late 2005 as a better portrayal of me in the world of South Park than the new kid allows me to be. That being said, it is a compelling South Park episode. It has all the characteristics required to be an engaging episode of the show, and for that, I applaud it. We give South Park the Fractured Butthole an IGN's generous 8.5 out of 10. Thanks, me, for that fantastic South Park review. Alma and I got to play Chucklefish's Stardew Valley. We created our character Matt Linton and tried to help him find true love. So, stay tuned.
So, we're going to play Stardew Valley, which I love, and I especially want to play it on my brand new fancy Nintendo Switch. Haha!
You wanted to play with Matt Linton, but he couldn't join us. And we kind of feel a hole in our hearts, so
You know, I really do. So, what we're going to do instead is create him in Stardew Valley and then bend him to our will.
We're going to help Linton find true love.
True love, with one of 16 pre-selected characters.
How? Can't get any truer. 8? I don't know. 16?
Yeah.
There's got to be someone.
His name is...
He's Linton.
Linton.
Because, come on, I'm already mad.
Okay.
Great. His favorite thing is puns. We know that.
This is true.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Does he want a cat or a dog?
He's a dog guy.
I'm just going to put him on the regular farm,
Great.
because that's really all he's capable of handling. Yay! Linton is moving to Pelican Valley.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I'm sure
man.
he is overjoyed.
I'm sure he's thrilled. You received 15 parsnip seeds.
God, we know Linton loves parsnip seeds.
Amazing. Sneeds? He
Sneeds.
loves parsnip sneeds.
Sneeds.
Aren't sneeds the thing from, not where near the Lorax?
I don't know, it sounds like a derogatory term.
I'm going to clear some land, because in order to find a mate, you must farm.
Yes. Yes.
That's how it's been for centuries.
You know,
And
I'm
why
sure
change now?
That's how your parents met. That's to mine. Farming.
Yeah, that's how everyone's parents have met, and that's where we're all doomed to meet forever.
On the farm.
On the farm.
Yeehaw. I don't know if I've ever seen a parsnip. What's a parsnip look like?
It's like a tuber.
All right.
It's something you eat, and it's like pale. It's like a little more yellow than your skin tone.
So me with jaundice.
So you with jaundice.
Dandelion, he can use that as a gift for his potential mate.
Ah, yes, indeed.
Because nothing wins over the ladies like
Dandelions.
a little dandelion. Here, I bought you a weed.
Here's a
There we
woman
go.
for him to
There we
wed.
go. Let's just get to it. Let's cut to the chase. Penny.
She is
wow.
not interested.
Wow.
Cold, hard rejection.
Damn, that was...
Youch.
We are off to a horrible start.
Come here, you drunkard.
Who, her?
Pam, yeah.
Oh
she's
my gosh.
She's like the town alcoholic.
Yes! Wife her. Yes!
You can't marry her.
No, don't tell me that.
You can't marry her.
Don't tell me that. Go back to Pam. Go back. I want to talk to him. I want to look at her character portrait.
Let's see if she's gonna talk to us. She might not talk to us. Oh yeah.
Look at Pam. Is that a tracksuit she's in?
Indeed.
Oh, we need to marry Pam.
We can't marry Pam. Like, we're literally not allowed to marry Pam. Here's what it is. Everyone who has single next to their name, that's who you can marry.
Chucklefish. Petition. Change.org.com. Let us marry Pam. Please.
Please.
I cannot get over Linton's hair.
Do you want him to marry Elliot?
Yes. You mean Fabio?
He's a writer.
Like a horse rider?
No, like he writes novels.
He doesn't ride horses?
No.
Listen, I'm down for that too. Whoa, alright, stop it for 1 second. Stop for 1 second. You look at the green jacket. I really don't like how we can see him breathing. Do you see that?
Yes.
That is weird. Ew. That's Chucklefish. Petition. Take that out. Please.
You can't petition Chucklefish for every single thing that you dislike in this game.
Yeah, that's how game communities work, isn't it?
Is it?
I think so. All we do is complain, right? We complain and then maybe they fix things or maybe they ignore us and keep taking our money. Ooh,
You can
Harvey.
marry the doctor.
I like Harvey. I like that mustache.
I'm down to marry a gay doctor.
Let's do it. Because at any time, you get your farming injuries, he's on site.
He's always there to tenderly care to your wounds.
Oh, my heart's melting. Let's do it. Go get him some daffodils.
He doesn't want to get married.
Oh, he hasn't met Linton. No one wants to get married until they meet Linton.
I think you're giving the real life Linton too much credit.
No, that's Matt. This is Linton.
Okay.
Excuse me? Excuse me, what?
Oh, so you can like find lost books and those go in the library.
How on earth did you know that was there?
Those little worms.
Oh.
Wherever
I
there's a
didn't-
little worm, you just like hoe it and then you like find whatever. So sometimes it's like lame stuff like clay, but then other times it's like a book
I've
or
been
a
playing this
lost
game
artifact.
Wrong.
Have you literally never done that before?
No.
What do you think?
Why does Vincent look terrified? These kids do not look happy to be there. Makes sense, we're in a library.
Wow, getting married is exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't know if anyone's attempted to get married in the mad dash that we are right now. We moved here about a day ago. Don't forget that.
Have you met a Mormon?
What on earth is going on in there?
It's their exercise class.
Excuse me, there is no organization here. Everyone's just... How is this a class? One guy's jump roping in the corner.
Well, it's more that everyone works out together. You know, like how you do with your friends.
She's just dancing.
Okay, so we leveled up our foraging. That's pretty sexy.
Sure. Will that make Elliot love me?
Love takes time.
I want to marry Pam. So
I
bad.
know. Listen, I can't sit here and negotiate with you like you're a 5-year-old. Like, there are people you cannot marry.
I want to marry Pam.
I know you do, but like we can't always get what we want.
She's an alcoholic and she wears a tracksuit. How much better does it get?
Well, it turns out that pretending to have a farm is really
Yeah.
I'm ready to
You
go
know what's
back
more
to sleep.
exhausting? Trying to get Linton want to get someone to love Linton.
That's also really exhausting.
Man.
Do you think we could make him pay us to be his matchmaker?
I mean, we obviously failed at that now.
Well, this is just digital. This was just a dry run.
No, listen, I don't know if it's for us.
Well, I guess Linton just has to die alone.
Alright, back to bed.
Back to bed.
Whoop, good night.
Good
Sleep.
night.
Woo.
Nice to go to sleep knowing that you're a complete failure.
Good night. That's it, we'll cut on black there.
Hello, this is Stewie Griffin, and you're watching Trojan Vision.
You're watching the Lion Center, voted the #1 squash courts on campus. Brought to you by Trojan Vision.
After using me to help find love, Alma recruited Christian to go on a little farming expedition, and they used all the knowledge that they learned in StarDew Valley.
Yeehaw.
So unfortunately, I am almost about to complete my very expensive degree, so I cannot run off and have a Stardew Valley farm of my own. However, the closest I can come is to come hang out with senior producer Christian. He lives in the e-co-op here at USC, and they do, well, just the kind of things that we've been doing in Stardew Valley. So what are those things that we're doing today?
So today, we're gonna work on clipping some of the chicken's wings to keep them from hopping out of the coop. We are also going to do some small repairs on our plant boxes, and then we're gonna end it with picking some fruit from the trees around us.
Well, I have my fruit picking shoes, so let's get started.
This is Henry the egg,
Henry the egg.
and he has his wings clipped already. So you can see there's a section here that's been cut.
Okay.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna go and find some of the other chickens who have yet to have this done.
Okay.
So these like are second layer wings that help them get a little bit more elevation.
And we don't want them to fly out.
No, because they get into the plants, they start picking at. We just plotted these, so we don't want them to pick out any of the seeds and ruin our crops.
Okay.
We also pet her.
Hi. Oh my god, he's so sweet. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And then? No way.
This is Barack Obama.
Okay. I'm gonna pet you.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we'll see what her wing is. She's got the extra ones.
Okay. Where are the scissors? Are they in your back pocket?
They are.
Okay.
So I'll hold on the wing,
Okay.
and like you saw before.
You should get closer.
You're just gonna cut kind of around this length. That way.
Okay.
It's
so
like
here?
Perfect. Maybe a little further out. Yeah. It's like cutting hair to them. It doesn't hurt.
Okay.
All right.
Wow. Oh, that was so weird.
How about we
She's
take
so
a-
mad.
Oh yeah, she's pissed. How about we take a break and do something else?
So unfortunately in real life, harvesting fruit trees is not as easy as just right-clicking a tree. So I have this torture device here with me, and what are we picking?
Picking avocados. The tree.
Okay, so like I don't need this for this one.
No, but you're gonna need it for like all the ones up there.
Oh.
Here. Keep going further up. You're gonna have to kind of twist it a little bit. You have to break it off. There you are. You got it.
Ah!
That's one avocado.
One avocado.
There we are.
Man. That was really exhausting. Let's do something else. These guavas look 500% easier. Why didn't you let me start with these?
I just wanted to like get this done first.
Okay, how do I pick a good guava?
You just pluck it, and there you are.
And that's how you know if it's ripe?
Well,
If
the
it's
ripe
yellow?
ones are yellow
Oh, okay.
on this tree.
That one I could almost reach. This is 500% easier. This is so much easier. Ah!
There you are.
Is that it? Is Dobby free?
Yeah, Dobby's worked hard enough.
Dobby
you don't have
is
to do any more
free!
work.
So I am taking the avocados home because I earned them. It was quite an arm workout, but I've never eaten a guava. And I insisted that it get washed first, and now I will eat a guava for the first time.
Okay, you
Do
don't
I just bite into it like a tomato?
You bite into it, yeah.
Oh. Do I eat the seeds?
You just swallow the seeds. You don't have to chew them.
This is interesting. I don't know how I feel about it.
You're unsure about it?
Now, I know what all 4 of our viewers are thinking right now. Would this really be a video game show without discussing farming? Ah, the age-old gamer discussion. And to discuss this further, we thought it would be fitting to bring on a farming expert and man who recently found a women's cardigan in the trash, Shawn Morgan. Shawn, how are you?
I'm doing quite well. My cardigan really smells of feces.
Good, good. That's what we want. Now,
That'll
guys,
happen.
talk to me about farming and, I guess, tedious tasks in games and why it's important and how they make them fun.
Well, this kind of was a discussion we got started, Alma and I, when we played a little bit of Stardew Valley, as you saw us play earlier. You know, a big mechanic of the game is literally just farming. You do a lot of farming, you do a lot of hitting things with sticks, you do a lot of watering plants, stuff that does not sound enjoyable in real life, but the way everything controls, you know, when you have the right goal, you have the right end game, you have the right incentives, you know, it makes it fun, you know?
Shawn, what do you think?
Stardew Valley is really interesting because it gamifies a lot of mechanics that ordinarily people would find pretty boring. So to take a more extreme end of the spectrum, there are games out there like Farming Simulator, where you pretty much have to go through the road of buying machinery, setting up your farming plants, staking out your claims, pretty much what you would have to do in real life. Stardew Valley kind of simplifies the process, as well as Harvest Moon and some others, and makes it sort of enjoyable to pick up and put down. And recently, this trend of gamification has not only been impacting farming games as a whole, but pretty much every other tedious task that you have. For example, Papers, Please is a great example of...
What's that? Is that a mobile game?
Papers, Please, no. Papers, Please was... I think it has been ported to mobile. It originally came out for PC.
Oh, cool.
Great example of a game that took something that's fairly boring, you're stamping passports, and made it entertaining and fun because they changed the goals and the methods of why you're doing it. So, yeah, that ended up being kind of an interesting thing with regards to making tedious tasks actually working in video games.
With one like Papers, Please, it's also just little details that help, you know, make the experience enjoyable. You know, Stardew Valley, you know, you have the art style.
Yeah.
You have just little things where, you know, you'll, you know, walk through a bush and a little pixel bug will fly out. But just little details that bring the world to life to really not make it feel like you're doing chores, but to make it feel like you're really part of this world. And something like Papers, Please, where, they actually really do detailed creations of every single person whose, stuff you stamp. The art style's awesome. And
yeah, it fits the game really well, which is what I think these things are tailored to in some sense. So, StarDew Valley has that whole cute aesthetic, and Harvest Moon has it too, but it all depends on the type and the sort of atmosphere of the game that you're playing.
Yeah. I remember when I would play Red Dead Redemption, the first one, obviously, and even like World of Warcraft when I was in my loser phase, which was a long phase. There were tons of tasks that were pretty lame, like ranching cattle for one, or like skinning animals. That wasn't really fun. You had to do it a bunch. But when they had laid out those goals, and it did kind of bring the world to life, and like I felt like I was a rancher, John Marston. It kind of made it more intriguing when you had to do the tedious stuff.
Yeah. So one thing that, has been seen a lot, and we saw this up on here a second ago, Octodad, is games using comedy to make things that are usually boring fun. You take a very simple concept like Octodad, where what you do in the game is like...
Be an octopus and a father.
You're just, literally the challenge of the game is walking. Like, you just walk. That's what you do. And they make it fun, and they make it funny, and it's just like, it's a really challenging but still enjoyable experience out of something that, you literally wouldn't usually find enjoyment out of, which is just trying to walk.
Or something, for example, like a Surgeon Simulator, where it's like all you have to do is pick up like a tool, and it's really hard to do so with your keyboard as well.
Well, that's all the time we have, Shawn. Thank you for coming.
Not a problem.
You guys have been watching Trojan Arcade. I'm Matt Linton. That's Matt Crary. That's Shawn Morgan Thaler. Thank you all for watching, and tune in next week.
You're watching Trojan Vision. For more of your favorite shows, check us out at trojanvision.com and like us on Facebook.